Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Sports Analyst Podcast. As you can see behind me, I got our dear friend Spartacus of the Michigan State Spartans. And this is for one reason only, Jessa. And it is because right now, as we are recording on Tuesday night, Michigan State is playing Kentucky in the Champions Classic in basketball. And I hate Kentucky. We all know our feelings on Mark Pope. I see Colin Chandler on this floor, and it just makes me want to vomit. So I'm channeling all the Spartans' energy today. I would love nothing more in this world that isn't even basketball season to have Mark Pope take a fat L right in his face to kick off whatever the Champions Classic thing is that's going on. Anyway, sorry, that's those are my feelings coming up.
Yeah, so we're huge Sparty fans tonight. If I wasn't already, for basketball. 17 versus 12. Kentucky dropped to 12, I guess, after their loss to Louisville, which was beautiful.
LOL.
Yep. And Michigan State's 3-0. Hey, Michigan State just hit a 3, so it's 3-5. Also, apologies to everybody. I yelled too loud and may have caught a bug on Saturday night, so I do sound like a smoker, but we will persevere. So.
Jessa caused those false starts late in the game.
Yeah, 100%. I was not feuding with someone on Twitter when that went down. I completely missed it. Maybe that was what happened. Feuding on Twitter with someone who was sitting 2 rows in front of us, tweeting about us. It was awesome.
That was hilarious. That was definitely the highlight of the Sports Analyst chat because it was a good day. We'll get into it. In fact, let's just get into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
We got Sports Analysts. The chat's been popping lately. I asked the question, what's the temperature check of 0 to 100? How are we feeling about BYU's postseason hopes? Obviously, this includes the Big 12 championship game, but also the playoff and everything like that. AJ said 60. Matt said 30. Steve said 40, and then Ty said 80. So there's kind of an age range. The older you are, the lower your faith in BYU is.
So real.
That's what the data says.
Yep.
What about you, Jess? Where are you at?
Well, I'm going to break that pattern because I'm at a 30. So I love the way you asked this question, though, because you said number 1 being we're not winning another game. So
right.
That's it. Done. We're going to lose our, and number 1, we're winning number 100, we're winning the Natty. Right? So that's their range. And I thought about it, and in order to do anything noteworthy in the postseason, we have to beat Texas Tech.
Yep.
And, not even... And so I thought, what's the percentage that we beat Texas Tech on a neutral field? Honestly, if we had to go back to Texas Tech, I would say I'm at a 10.
Yeah.
But on a neutral field, I bumped it up to a 30. So... Right. On a neutral field, I'm there's
neutral,
a 30%.
Neutral,
yeah.
Let's be honest.
Oh, true, because it's in Arlington. Okay. Yeah, gosh. So that's if we get there, honestly, right? So, because, and here's why, is because I don't think we get in if we don't beat Texas Tech in the conference championship game. And it's because my faith in the committee is at negative 100. I was going to say 0, but that's way too generous. I don't have any faith in the committee because it's a popularity contest. To address Ty's point, though, I do agree that there is a precedent. This committee has set a precedent with allowing Texas in last year and SMU. Both lost the conference championship game, but the committee said we don't want to penalize teams for making a conference championship game. So if the committee is logical at all, then yes, of course, BYU will get in. I just don't think they are. I think it's the same committee that said, nah, Florida State's not getting in, we're putting Alabama in. But Florida State hasn't lost a game. They will find a reason not to put BYU in the playoffs, and one of those reasons could be, well, SMU got their butts kicked in by Penn State. Right. So we're not going to do that again. Nobody liked that. So we're not going to put you in. And Texas is Texas, so don't even compare us to them. They're going to do everything for Texas and nothing for us. So that's why I'm at a 30. I've punched my ticket to our bowl game already. So we're chilling. Where are you? You posed this question. Where are you?
I'm all in on the Pop-Tarts Bowl. I do not
There you
care
go.
about the playoffs. I have to
You
say
said
this every
it.
episode. It's
You
in my
said the
contract.
name. You said the name. The bubble has burst of the Pop Tarts Bowl. That's where I'll be. Amen.
Yep. I do not care about the playoffs, and I get it. I get all the conversation. Oh, BYU has a better SOS than Notre Dame, and they should be in over Notre Dame and Oregon and all this stuff, and like Alabama, blah blah blah. Okay, let me read you the list of teams that are ahead of BYU. Okay, and we're recording this before the college football playoff rankings come out because we don't care about the playoffs, so we're not going to wait on them. Okay, but tell me which of these teams is BYU going to jump? Okay. In order to get into the playoff, because right now,
Wait. At the end of the season?
yes. So
Okay, cool.
so right now, here's the top 10. BYU is currently at 11. That's what I'm thinking they're going to be at in the CFP, right? Because Texas will move down, nothing else changes. BYU has to be in the top 10 because the ACC champ and the Big Five or Group of Five. There we go. Group of 5 champ are both going to come from like not inside the top 10, which makes the top 10 like the last at-large spot. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So BYU is to be in the top 10, okay? Which of these teams is going out and BYU is going in, okay? Ohio State. No.
No.
Indiana.
Nope.
No. Texas A&M. No.
No.
Right? Unless, Texas A&M would have to what?
Lose the rest of their games. And even then, I don't
right?
think
And
so.
they're not going to. I mean, they play Texas, but they also play Samford. And then they're going to play in the conference championship game, which by our own very logic means that we're not going to penalize them. So, no, for Texas A&M. Okay? So let's go back. Next, Ole Miss. Do you think Ole Miss is going out and BYU's going in?
So we have 2 more weeks of the season, right?
Yes.
Who does Ole Miss play to end the season?
They play Mississippi State. And they will not be playing in the conference championship game.
No.
Right?
Because they're in the SEC.
Okay. All right, next one is Oregon. Oregon plays USC and Washington.
That would put them at 3 losses.
Yep.
Well,
I think
USC might catapult up there.
Right?
So then you have a two loss USC. What were you saying?
No, exactly. A 2-loss USC versus a 2-loss BYU.
No, if we lose 2 games, absolutely we're not jumping them.
Right. So and again, the committee has made it known that Oregon is what 5 spots ahead of BYU. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Texas Tech definitely not going to jump them. Right. Oklahoma, not anymore. I don't think BYU can jump Oklahoma anymore because Oklahoma has a better win than BYU.
Even if they drop to Missouri?
If they lose to Missouri, then I think it's going to be an Oklahoma versus BYU conversation and Oklahoma wins. If they lose to Missouri and LSU, then I think we have a chance.
Yeah.
I just don't see that happening.
Agreed. I think them beating Alabama kind of kicked us in the gut. Yeah.
Yes, because now that puts them like a full win ahead of us.
Yeah,
right?
It's Alabama, guys.
Exactly.
It's just different.
Okay. And then there is the Alabama, right? There is Alabama there, who has 2 losses. They play Auburn and a pancake and a cupcake.
Auburn at night? It was just
I have zero faith in Auburn, but it is a rivalry game. It could happen.
That's true.
And then you have Notre Dame, and Notre Dame's not going to lose to Syracuse or Stanford.
No.
So none of those scenarios are positive for BYU. I don't think we're getting in, and I frankly don't care because if you win the Big 12 championship, which is all I really want, then great, you're in already, and it doesn't matter. But if you lose, there's no scenario that I see that's like in the realm of possibility where BYU gets in.
Yeah. And maybe one of these times we should do our own college football rankings. Like if we were on the committee, who would we put in based on deservingness? That might be an interesting conversation. But yeah, I'm thinking the way things are and based on the evidence I know, unless we win, like this weekend is a playoff game and then the conference championship game is a playoff game. So that's where we are, which is kind of exciting. But my expectations are, again, I'm at a 30.
Yes, and this is just a PSA to everybody, don't get your hopes up. That's basically what we're telling you, okay? Because it's all in BYU's hands, and it is not in
Not
BYU's hands, right?
so true. Yep.
If BYU wins the Big 12, we don't have to worry about any of this. If BYU doesn't
Yep.
win the Big 12, we have zero control, and there's nothing we can do to change it. So,
That's exactly right. Yeah, if you came here hoping for some BYU playoff hype, you are in the wrong place, my friend. Nope.
this is not the place.
This is not the place for you. So,
But we do have a lot else to get to. Jessa, you were there on Saturday night. BYU just manhandled TCU 44-13. Last week we were talking about how our defense should probably be in a good spot. I don't think we saw Josh Hoover completing 10 passes like defensive performance. That was absolutely incredible. Plus the pick six at the end, Satawala having another, how did he get that ball interception? And then our offense, we talked about it. We're like, our offense is going to have to put up points. Our offense is going to have to win this game for us. I think they did.
yeah. In the first 7 possessions, we scored 7 times. 2 field goals, right? 2 field goals and 5 touchdowns? Or was it 3 field goals and 4 touchdowns? Either way,
those pretty good.
That's
it's the first
pretty
time in
dang good.
8 years that we've scored on 7 straight possessions.
Yep.
So I'd say that's
Yep.
pretty decent.
Pretty good. Here's what I will say. TCU is a broken team. The fan base is broken. That was one of the only visiting games that I could not see any purple anywhere in the
Really?
stadium, except
That's
for
crazy.
the 100 people that came in the visiting
In
section.
the little section.
Yeah. And granted, it's hard to see, but Ty and I looked. We were like,
Yeah.
where are the TCU fans? Nowhere to be found. On
Dang.
Twitter the week before, online talking trash, BYU TCU hate week, nowhere to be found. And when they
Wow.
did pop their head above the sand, it was like, we're just really sad and we want Sonny to go. We're grateful for everything that he's done, but we're just really sad. And that was reflected in the team. Josh Hoover, I don't think, had a single moment where he looked excited to be anywhere.
Nope.
And it didn't help that, like you said, our defense absolutely made his life a living hell. 4
Yes.
sacks, 6 TFLs for the defense. The first series, we got pressure with 3 and 4 man rushes. If you're Josh Hoover,
That's crazy.
it's like us against Texas Tech. Texas Tech is we can rush 3 and then drop everybody back in coverage, and you can't do squat.
Right.
And so that was the game for him. 10 passes. We're the only team that held him to less than 200 passing yards. 2 picks. And, yeah, so defense, no notes. Fantastic.
Yep.
Fantastic. And just like what you said, offense scored a bunch. Bear was 23 for 33 for almost 300 yards, and he scored twice. LJ had...
Let's be honest. He probably could have gone for more, too.
yeah.
They called the dogs off, at the fourth quarter break. And we could have put up a lot of yards and a lot of points on this team if we really wanted to.
Yeah, 100%. We just ran the ball out with 9 minutes left in the game.
Yeah.
And honestly, part of me, I this is A-Rod, right? And he's risk averse. We've talked about it. That man is so risk averse. If there's any chance that someone gets hurt or we throw an interception or
turnover,
something.
yep.
Yeah, it's okay, we've put 3 quarters together, let's not ruin it. That's our game plan in the fourth quarter when we're up. Look at West Virginia, look at Utah, right? Except for that 4th and 5 where we freaking threw it out the back of the end zone. But but yeah, that last fourth quarter was just I was like, okay, so you're telling everybody they can go home? I feel
Right.
like I've been gypped. I paid for I haven't paid. My parents that I mooch off of paid for 4 quarters of football. What are we doing here? And then I believe you have some words to say to Mr. Tanner Wall.
Well, I just want to say thank you for the exact reason that we were talking about, because, and I think this is a greater point that we really should get into. Tanner Wall in the backup defense, in 2 separate pieces, he's not a backup. He is definitely a starter. Remember that time when we had Tanner Wall and Talon Alfrey as our starting safeties, and we were like, this is horrible, we're cooked?
Yeah.
But then Tanner Wall was actually good. There was the path split, and you see Talon Alfrey go to fading off into the distance and being a special teamer. And then Talon Alfrey and then Tanner Wall getting picks all the time and being a huge key of this defense. But huge shout out to them because 44-13 is huge in this day and age. Like in this climate of the playoff, like why is Utah number 13? It's not because they were more competitive against Texas. It's not because they were competitive against Texas Tech. It's not because they were very competitive with us. It's because they blow the crap out of whoever they play, right? And so it's very important to put up a big score. If Tannenwald doesn't get that pick six, it's 37-13, which is still good, but let's be honest. A 4 leading number and a 1 leading number is better than a 3 leading number and a 1 leading number. Like
Amen.
This is basic like 2-year-old math. And then shout out to the backup defense because 44-20 just looks like kind of like a shootout that TCU threw a bunch of picks in or something, and 37-20 looks like it looks like a close game even though it still isn't. But like it looks like TCU had a shot late. So 44-13, huge shout out to Tanner Wall for taking that to the house and not just going down. And then the backup defense for coming in and not letting TCU like pull a West Virginia and march down the field and score and make it like not exciting late. So I love that. And then kind of like the last point on this, Kalani, like in his media availability, he's like, I understand the style points, I understand like this, but I'm not like gonna go campaign. I'm just focused on like winning each game. It's like, okay, that's fair. Like during the week, you shouldn't be like, oh, we got to put up 50 on this team. Like that's fine, okay? But if you get into a game and you are in the third and fourth quarter and you can put up 50 on that team, go put up 50 on that team. I don't care if the backups are in. Stop calling it like a conservative knee the ball out game plan. Like I get that he wants to get our younger guys reps, but dude, you understand that if you don't beat Texas Tech again, you are not going to the playoff. If you want to go to the playoff, you need to be pounding cheeks in these last couple of weeks. So he's like saying one thing but then doing another, and it is clear that BYU football is putting all of its chips into beating Texas Tech. That is where all the chips are going right now.
I'm still scarred from 2 weeks ago, so I don't know if that's the wisest bet, you guys. If that's what you're aiming for, I will say we also talked about how like I used the words I'm angry at the team for what they did at Texas Tech, and it was very apparent that they were too. You know, like they came out and played hard, you know, and so that was the best. It almost felt like when okay, so we also said like we want it to be as if Utah Tech was coming to town, right? Or like Idaho State was coming to town. That was the most bored in like the best way possible that I have ever been at a Power 5 BYU football game.
That is crazy.
Like I was, that's why I was on Twitter in the fourth quarter, okay guys? Because I was bored. I was like, we're up 44, but I'm loving this. Like, I loved it, but it like wasn't exciting. And if every game could be like that, I would absolutely adore it. Like my life would extend by 10 years.
Oh,
so
yeah.
great weekend for BYU football. I'm really, really pleased with how they bounced back.
I am too. That is, I think, the like singular most like pleased I have ever been with like a response game. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
I have never seen a BYU team, football, basketball, freaking volleyball, soccer, whatever. I've never seen a team rebound so hard like they did in this game. That was the most embarrassing loss we could have possibly imagined at Texas Tech. And then we came out here and we looked hungry, we looked focused, we looked like we wanted to clap some cheeks, and then we did. And we like Kalani was like the guy yanking on the dog's leash, like, stop, come here, you know, because our players were like feasting. And it was so like heartwarming to see that like fire, because I was so worried about having another last year spot where we just like, oh, it's over, you know. So very, very pleased, and it gives me more like Barack Obama hope poster for the rest of the season that we can continue to do that and not have another letdown on the road at Cincinnati or final game of the season against UCF.
Yep. I'm really glad that the guys felt that, because I think, here's my question for you, Jared. Is that the best 60 minutes that this team has played this year or last year? Can you think of a best against, obviously, like Portland State, you know, but like, is that the most complete football game we've played in the last 2 years?
I would say yes. I don't think it's very close either.
I don't think
Like
so either.
what other
Arizona last
game?
year, but Arizona last year, like we had Jake, and Jake never played a complete game.
Right. I think that's probably the closest is Arizona last year, but this one was even more like this was because like in the Arizona game it wasn't like this one was wire to wire. As soon as we stepped on the field, it was our game. Like we got stopped a little bit early and had to kick a field goal first, and then got TCU off the field super quick. Went down, scored a touchdown, got the ball back, scored a touchdown, got the ball back, scored a touchdown, kicked PAT. Like it was just hands down from the get go, just complete annihilation.
Yep, agreed. And I think I remember the Arizona game. Fafita actually had our number a couple times. So yeah, I
Jessa,
agree.
what worries did you see from this game? Because it wasn't
Oh,
all like rose colored glasses. It was blue goggles. It wasn't all perfect.
yeah.
I didn't like how we took our foot off the gas in the fourth quarter. What did you see that you didn't love?
I still don't see us throwing the ball downfield. I don't see Bear standing in the pocket and ripping it. And when we do, freaking Parker Kingston can't hold on to the ball. I'm so sorry. Trigger warning. Trigger warning. But no, that wasn't the easiest catch. But if he hadn't dropped like three other really easy balls, I don't think we'd think much of it.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Still, it wasn't the easiest catch. He still should have caught it.
yeah,
Absolutely should have caught it.
totally. And I think he can, you know.
We've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, I still have questions about our deep pass game. Like, can we stretch the field? Can we make safeties drop deep into coverage? I don't I don't just see our guys getting open. Parker's
Yeah.
fast, so if you get him on like a deep crosser, but like Chase is not an over the top threat. So I'm hoping that as JoJo gets back into the swing of things, that he can become that over the top threat that will force safeties to drop and we can rip it. But I'm
Yeah.
worried. That's all.
Yep. No, I feel you. You always hear people talk about like a guy that can take the top off of a defense, and it is a guy that has the speed and deep ball abilities to like take those deep shots, but also it's a guy that needs to drag the safeties. Like when you literally talk about taking the top off of a defense, it is dragging the safeties up so that you can make room for those underneath passes, right? Like you need to create separation between your safeties and your linebackers so then you can hit like the Parker Kingstons and the Chase Roberts on like the deep crossing routes and the over routes. Like that's why you need some guy in a way. We hope it's JoJo, right? That can go down the field and take a safety, and then everybody else can kind of come underneath, and you open up that pass game. And
Yeah.
I agree that's something that BYU sorely needs if we are going to compete in the postseason at all.
Yep. And dude, we're gonna beat Texas Tech. Let's be real. That is like, would you agree, Jared? That is you and my Super Bowl, the conference championship game. Like that's the
Yes.
national championship to
Yep.
me. Yeah. Okay.
1,000%. I could not agree more. Like that is the perfect encapsulation of, frankly, what our expectations and our hopes and dreams should be right now in the current climate of college football.
Yep.
We are not a brand that is going to get a seat at the table willingly from the SEC and the Big Ten. And so
Yep.
we should not, there's no reason crying over, oh, they're not letting us play with the big boys. Like, just go beat up on the 6-year-olds in on the playground, okay? And let the teenagers like shank each other with the screwdrivers in the alley to the side, okay?
Yep. Yep. Michigan State is up by 6, by the way. I just
We love it.
so we love to hear it. Okay. Should we transition to basketball? Is that our next thing?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's transition
Oh
to
wait,
basketball.
or should we talk about the rest of the college football
I
weekend
mean,
first?
we kind of have in a way. Basically, like the only point that I had to say on like college football this week is that it was a bad week for BYU. Like it was literally the cursed Saturday of all cursed Saturdays.
Yeah.
Up until the BYU game, and I was like so confident we were going to lose the BYU game just because of how everything had gone. Like, let me read you the list of games that we needed like to go a certain way. Right, last week we needed Clemson to beat Louisville. It happened. That was our one thing. It was the very first game. Great. Okay. After that, Minnesota lost to Oregon. Northwestern lost to Michigan. That was a heartbreaker. Pitt lost
Yeah.
to Notre Dame. They weren't really even competitive, so I turned that one off quick.
Hmm.
We needed Cincy to beat Arizona. That didn't happen. That was very, very much a letdown. Boston College to beat Georgia Tech. That was a heartbreaker.
So close.
Duke wasn't competitive with Virginia. NC State wasn't competitive with Miami. Iowa, heartbreaker loss. USC. Alabama, we needed them to blow out Oklahoma. And of course, Alabama craps the bed. Of course they do. They have
That was
nothing to
at
play
home
for.
too, wasn't it?
Right. And it's like they're going to get a home playoff game now. So it's like they don't really care. But we needed that to happen. Didn't happen. ECU did beat Memphis, which is kind of funny that the only game that went our way was the G5 school that we beat winning
Yeah.
to like stay alive in the American. Anyway, and then Florida lost to Ole Miss and Baylor lost to Utah. So literally like the only things that went our way were Clemson to beat Louisville, ECU to beat Memphis, and Georgia to beat Texas.
Yeah.
That was it.
That's
We
bad.
went
Like if you're
3
betting,
and
that's
15.
a bad betting league. Oh.
Exactly.
Um.
Which, again, comes back to our conversation off the top, is that BYU does not control its own destiny, and yet it also very much does control its own destiny.
Yeah. Yep. Sadly, more so than other teams. Like there's more on us than there are on the other teams. Like we can't
Yes.
afford another loss. The other teams can.
Right?
Which is just the state that we're in, and we will keep fighting against it. But at the same time, it's like it's just stupid.
Right. We've come to a point where the biggest weapon we have in our arsenal is apathy. And so
It's so
I'm
true.
going to wield that sword like freaking King Arthur over here. And I do
Yep.
not care.
Yep.
But let's get to
Oh.
basketball because
let's do it.
basketball was crazy, okay? Come out
interesting.
of the gates. We're missing Kennard Davis. Hashtag free Kennard, right? Is that what we're going with?
I guess. I don't even know what to think about that one.
I don't really know. I know none of the details.
Me
So I'm
too.
just saying hashtag free Kennard.
Yep.
And
Okay.
also,
Same.
I'm glad that this happened early in the season and not late in the season when he was like our big Brandon Davies-esque character going into March Madness. Anyway,
Yep.
Keba Keita leaves very early in the game. What was it, like 5 minutes in? 8 minutes in?
Yeah, something like that went
It was
down.
like the second time out.
It was after the refs had swallowed their whistles.
Yes. And that's kind of what I want to jump off. BYU got blitzed out of the gate. Down 20 before I could even like wipe my butt. And then down 20 in the second half, and then we make a frantic comeback. We have a chance to tie or win the game late, and Rob Wright dribbles it off his foot like a Houston player. What is he doing? And then we lose by 2. Jess, what do you even make of this performance?
So Ty and I I think we were at dinner when the game was going on, and we were like kind of watching on our phones. And I said from the very beginning, like we just got to keep it within 10. Like we have to remember, BYU is new to this, okay? So
100%.
right, like a top 10 matchup in October or November, like I don't know if that's ever happened in BYU basketball history, like since
Much
Jimmer.
less on the road in an NBA environment against the
Exactly.
number 3
So-
team in the country. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was kind of a Texas Tech deal, honestly, where we were like, we just need to look like we're competitive. And even more so because basketball, you have so many games, right? So a loss to UConn in November is not going to hurt you. So, and also, from my perspective, I'm taking it as, what I hope the assistants were taking it as is like, what are we learning from this? Like, we have just got to be sponges the first month of the season and just learn, like, what works and what doesn't. And we learned a lot in that first half. You're exactly right. Like, we got out physical, we got out schemed. Dan Hurley, he's a psychopath, but he also can freaking coach a basketball team to be disciplined. You're not going to out discipline them. Like, they are going to out discipline you. You've got to outplay them. You know, you've got to outscore them and out scheme them, right? I don't even know if you're going to out scheme them, to be honest. And so you can out athlete UConn, I think. And so I think we came in maybe with that. That's honestly what I've seen from the team so far, is that we are out athleting and out skilling all of our opponents, which is crazy right now. And there's a lot of read and react basketball going on, meaning not very many set plays, right? And if it is, I love that Kevin Young trusts Rob and trusts Richie, and that's why we're seeing a lot of misses, in my opinion, is because the guys are like trying to find where their shots are in real game scenarios. And I think that hit us in the mouth in the beginning because we were missing shots, and Dan Hurley was like having his way. So we went into half, and I think this was AJ's breakout game. Like, he took over in that second half, which is
Mm.
exactly like that was our game plan, you know?
Yeah.
So I would just like to see more X's and O's out of the gate moving forward, I think is my
Okay.
ask.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think that's going to happen. I think right now we're just trying to figure out, like, can AJ take over a game? How does he like to do it? Can Rob take over a game? How does he like to do it? Preferably not dribbling it off of his foot. But, so, I mean, I was happy. That's a long-winded answer to your question of like, I am happy because in March, I think hopefully we get to a point where we're winning that game, you know,
Right.
which was what matters. So that was my take on the game. What was your take on the game?
Very, very similar. I think I was a little more down than you were because, like, it was in a way like that first half was very Texas Tech-esque, where it was like big moment, big lights. And to be fair, basketball is way more newer to this than football is. I feel like,
Yeah,
like even in
100%.
Independence era, like BYU football had like these big moments against like Tennessee and Washington and USC and all these games, right? Basketball never had that. They had the Gonzaga game and the St. Mary's game, and that was it. And so I came in with pretty high expectations. We got absolutely pounded, like you said. And so when we came back in the second half, I was more like, is this really us, or is this UConn like letting their foot off the pedal? But to your point, I think at the end of the day, the whole reason you play this game is for the experience, right? Like Kevin Young said a billion times last year, our non-con did not prepare us for Big 12 play, and it hurt us in seeding, and it hurt us in preparation. And he was very anti, like, pansy non-con, which, hand up, so am I. Very anti. It's also just not fun as a fan. So to have this game where you can learn, hey, in these, like, tournament-style games, you cannot rely on refereeing. You cannot rely on just, like, oh, we're just going to come out here and play our game and win. Like, you have to come in with a dedicated game plan. You need to come in ready for the physicality. You need to set the tone. Like, you need to be the aggressor. And all these things in a close loss that's going to look really good at the end of the year when the committee members are like, oh, one of their only losses is to UConn on a neutral by 2 points across the country.
Without two starters, two
Without
defensive
two
starters, by the
starters.
way. Yep.
Right? Like, Keba Keita might be our fourth leading scorer this year.
Yeah.
And our leading rebounder. Like, so I think this is a great experience. I was just a little bit underwhelmed as far as, like, a fan. Does that make sense?
Totally. And
Positive
hand up,
experience. Yeah.
yeah, 100%. And hand up, I also sold this to Ty and Kenners. I was like, I don't know that I have energy to put into, like, caring about basketball because that's what I do 12 hours a week on top of my full-time job anyways. I'm like, I think I'm a little bit numb to basketball losses, to be honest. But no, once we get into like Big 12 contention, I think then the fanness will start to come out of me of like, oh my gosh, we can do it. And honestly, my expectations are still very high. I just know it's going to take us a minute to get there, you know? And so I do think we could have won that game, which would make sense as to why it's a little bit like, we had it though. Like, we had it at the last possession. We did everything we needed to. We had the ball.
Right. We had the ball with a chance to tie or win.
Yeah.
So it was tough as a fan. I do think this is, again, kind of the state we're in with this BYU basketball. And very astute point by you, like, how much can we really care about this team right now? Like, great game. Whether we win or loss, it's still kind of the same, like, right? Like, if we lose that game, like, my fandom level, like, and emotional investment drops like that. And if we win, it goes like that. Like, you know?
100%.
So,
yeah, come January 10th, that will change.
Exactly. As soon as Big 12 basketball starts, like, that's when we really ramp up. And that's not to say that we don't care about the non-con. It's that we care a lot more about football than we do about basketball.
Yeah. Sorry about it. We should find a way to stretch out basketball, like, into summer, like the NBA does, so then summer is less depressing, you know?
Right.
So,
right. We need to play the
great.
non-con in the summer, then take a break during football season, and then pick back up with conference play after football season.
That makes a ton of sense. Perfect.
Yeah. All that to say, I have faith that we will continue to get better as a basketball team. Whereas in the past, with teams coached by this guy that I'm watching right on my TV, the bald white rat from Flushed Away,
Who's down by
uh,
15, by the way.
down by 15. God bless America.
Wait. Just for fun, should we just check what the 3-point shooting is?
Oh, I would love to.
Oh, hey. Oh, it's 4 for 12. I'm not surprised at
Oh,
all.
yeah, not surprising.
Nope.
That sounds
Okay.
about right.
That's actually high for what I was thinking. Okay.
But all that to say, I do have faith that this is going to get better because of last year. BYU, let's be honest, stunk until like mid-February. And then we went on like the run of all runs right before the tournament and got hot at the right time. I think BYU is learning the lessons that they learned in January and February right now.
Right now.
So by the time we pick up conference play, we will be ready to rip. And I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, that's where my expectations are. I'm with you. 100%.
Yep.
I'm with you. So the disappointment's going to come if that doesn't happen.
Yes.
Sorry
yes.
about it. But Ryan Smith and all of them, Kennard, get your act together. Don't be stupid if you did anything stupid. If you didn't do anything stupid, then I'm sorry for judging you because I don't have all the facts. But get your head out of your butt and quit doing stupid things until I learn otherwise.
And
I have no idea what the details are.
Let it be a warning to everyone else on the team. Don't do anything stupid, regardless of whether or not Kennard did. You shouldn't.
Yes, agreed. No, actually though, on a serious, if he actually was driving high, I may have very much stronger feelings about
Very
this.
fair. Very
but
fair.
There's just no way that the public can know the accurate story,
Right?
whether
And
we
also,
have all the facts or we don't.
And also, it's football season, so who cares at this
yeah,
point?
exactly. It'll be sorted out by January, I'm